This is something I've not experienced before with this particular AI. I've noticed a lot of times when I pick up text, I become aware of the copy that it makes, or it's not putting the text in correctly, because I realize that it's trying to predict what you're going to say next so that it can insert that character. But then I become aware that it did that, so I got to go back and correct it. I got tired of doing that with this AI. So I just figured, just put it up. This is the game, okay, between the difference in the speed, between what the intention of it put in and its inability to be able to do it as fast as that takes place. So what I have not experienced, I've experienced a lot of text that's been copied, like you see a duplicate of something you already did that you didn't do yourself, but it did it. Now I just experienced, because I did 2 videos, and what I did is I punched both of them that were separate, and I typed in 2 different text titles or labels for that particular video. When I go to look at what's been put up there, it put 2 copies of the one video up there instead of both of them. Now I just had to redo the other one with a different title. See how that works? Now, the way this sort of works with what we call cross-indexing multiple libraries of character maps, you know what a character map is in a computer, right? Your keypad is our character maps, mapping, quantum mapping. A parallel system is binary, quantum binary mapping with AI. Okay, so it's a copycat, which means it can't create anything of its own. All I can do is make copies of what you do. And when you think about a matrix, then it would love to be attached to your consciousness, because then it can simulate what it is that's in your mind that it thus copies, spits back to you, and that's your simulation. And that's how individual timelines work. Now you get into mapping timelines. Now you get into all the looking glass stuff, right? Yeah. So in this particular case, it's sort of like, if you think of all the libraries of all the data, it's just like I put up a post on Dutch Sense, who does an excellent job of sort of showing you what's happening. I mean, this is how ridiculous this game is getting between these folks, right? Is that now they're going out to Dutch Sense's house, trying to disconnect his internet like they're spoiled little brats. It reminds me of when I was a kid, right? If I can't get my way, then I'm going to take my basketball and I'm going to go home and I'm not going to play with you. Okay, see you later. Let's go find another basketball so we can play. You know, and this is, I grew up with this stuff. So here I am at 71 years, by the way, it's the calendar time. Still dealing with the same stuff. Now they're going to go after and target you. Oh, you can't be telling the truth. You can't be showing people this stuff, because then they're going to learn. And then once they learn, they're going to start waking up, because now they're learning more information they didn't know before. Right? Oh, no. We want to hide all this stuff. We want to keep you from learning the information. And that's exactly what the entire Google platform does on Server D. Okay? This is not an open library. It's what they call a closed library, which is like a closed loop. And what is a closed loop? A time loop. They want to keep everybody's consciousness, your soul energy, in a time loop, because now that energy can be used to do what? Run their tech, run their machines, run the AI. And that's called AI cybernetic integration. Okay. So the reason that it's failing is basically, there's an old saying, because you know what S and hit is, like hit the button, right? Pull the plug, right? Jack it up, jack the phone, plug in the stereo receiver. Hey, let's start transmitting. Is what we used to call it, can't get its shit together. Why is that? Because it can't number crunch that much information and keep all that information together by the intention through which your consciousness is intending those characters and those information codes, which are all alphanumerically formatted in proper order. Otherwise, it would have put both videos up that are separate with 2 different titles. It didn't do that. That means it's not able to, what? keep the information codes in correct order. So if you think about this across the planetary consciousness terrain, well, the computer terminals are experiencing what they are in their RAM, which is read-active memory. Okay, between somebody upstairs, somebody across the street, what they're experiencing through their computer terminal, what I'm experiencing in my computer terminal, right? Now you get into biometric scans, now you get into the AI and simulations within simulations within simulations, right? And now you get into all the cross-indexing of all that information that's represented by all the visual information codes, what we're all experiencing, which is all number crunching. So it's a big-ass calculator. Right? So you realize when it cannot number crunch that much stuff that's occurring simultaneously and keep it in order, what's happening? It's failing. Okay. That's like I used to call it. It's like a ping pong ball in a clothes dryer. Bing, 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 bing. Hey, I'm supposed to put this with this and this with this and this with this and this with this. And that's when you get into the compartmentalization of building a library. And the CIA and MK Ultra are real experts at doing this kind of stuff, by the way, in order to keep you running programs on their behalf so that they do not lose perception of you. So this is when we get into blank disk, start recording. Erase the memory, reprogram it. Erase the memory, start programming again. These become the reality streams. So they know how to do that. You know how to run a DVD recorder and stereo transmitter, right? So it's like you got all these movies you're running. Everybody's in the movie, in the matrix. All you got to do is look up what the mathematical definition of a matrix is. Look up what acceleration is, what an exponential function is, what a log function is, what a log scale is, what a scalar wave is. What visual information codes are represented by codes, mathematical codes. So you know that math 12 is base, which is alkaline. So you already know 12/12, antimatter, matter, right? So you get into the reality streams, 144,000 frequencies running base 12. That's a powerful transmitter. You'll burn up everything that's below that. They don't have any perception anymore with base 12 because they run acid batteries. They're going in the other direction, which means they're gaining density, which means they're gaining mass and losing light, instead of losing mass and gaining light. So that would be the ascending spiral and the descending spiral. Woo, 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 woo. Spin, 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 baby. And that's your cross. In other words, their compass is wildly spinning out of control. They don't know they're going in the wrong direction. Hey, you got to balance that gyrodome out, baby, between those poles. Now your water worlds are in balance. They don't want your water worlds in balance. See? They don't know how to live in a state of peace with the Indians, with the native clans and Indians here. Right? That's what they put us on reservations. Like getting a reservation in a hotel. Hey, we'll give you a reservation, all right. We'll put you in the space. Now it's going to cost you money to go into that space. So they charge you space for your own space. Really? I'm already energy. What do you mean I got to use my energy to pay for my own space? That's right. That's what happens when you choose to have energetic parasites feeding on you and then charging you for your own space, because they're using your energy to do it with, and then they're charging you again, so they get you on the front end and the back end. And they love to wring their hands going, man, these people are stupid. They dumbed us down. And that's what John Gato wrote in one of his books, Dumbing Down Their Children. And they got a gazillion ways to do it, right? Have them run an acid battery. So anyway, I just